the farthest corners of our world, there exist places that defy comprehension. Landscapes so surreal, so impossibly beautiful, that the human mind struggles to accept them as reality. These are not paintings. They are not digital renderings or the fantasies of artists. They are real places, sculpted by forces far beyond human understanding, waiting in silence for those brave enough to witness them. We live on a planet of extraordinary contradictions. Beneath our feet lies a world of molten rock, above us an infinite void, and between these extremes, life has carved out an existence on a thin layer of earth and water. But within this narrow band of habitability, nature has created wonders that seem to belong to another realm entirely. Today, we journey to places that exist at the very edge of belief, places where the laws of nature appear to have been rewritten, where colors exist that you've never seen before, where geology performs impossible feats, where water and light conspire to create visions that haunt the mind long after you've looked away. This is not a story about destinations. It is a meditation on the sublime power of the natural world, a reminder that despite everything we think we know, Earth still holds secrets that can stop us in our tracks and make us question the very nature of reality itself. Number 1. The Rainbow Mountains. In the remote wilderness of northwestern China, hidden within the geological park of Jiangye Dansha, the earth itself has become a canvas of impossible color. The Rainbow Mountains rise from the desert floor like a fever dream made solid. Bands of crimson red flow into burnt orange. Mustard yellow bleeds into turquoise green. Violet purple mingles with snow white. These are not subtle earth tones weathered by time. These are vivid, saturated colors that belong on an artist's palette, not on the face of a mountain. The formation of these impossible peaks began over 24 million years ago, during an era when this region lay submerged beneath a vast inland sea. Layer upon layer of different minerals settled on the ancient seabed, each one staining the sediment with its own distinct hue. Iron oxide painted layers red. Copper turned others green and blue. Manganese created bands of yellow and purple. Then came the collision. The Indian subcontinent, drifting northward across the ancient ocean, crashed into the Asian landmass with world-changing force. The impact that created the Himalayas also thrust these buried layers upward, tilting them at dramatic angles and exposing the spectrum that had been hidden in darkness for millions of years. But the true architect of this masterpiece was not tectonic violence, it was time itself. Over countless millennia, wind and water sculpted the uplifted strata into flowing ridges and wave-like formations. Rain carved channels that revealed even deeper layers of color. Erosion polished the surface until it gleamed under the desert sun. The result is a landscape that appears to ripple and flow like frozen music. Walking among these peaks feels like stepping into a painting that exists in 3 dimensions. The colors shift with the changing light. At dawn, the reds and oranges ignite with fire. At sunset, the purples and blues deepen into shadow. Under the harsh midday sun, Every hue blazes with otherworldly intensity. Local legends speak of these mountains as the place where the gods spilled their paint while creating the world. Science offers a different explanation, but standing before these technicolor cliffs, it becomes difficult to dismiss the mythological interpretation entirely. Some things are too perfect, too deliberately beautiful, to feel like accidents of geology. Number 2, the glowworm caves. Deep beneath the hills of New Zealand's North Island, in caverns carved from limestone over 30 million years ago, darkness has given birth to a very particular kind of light. The Waitomo Caves exist in perpetual night. No sunlight has touched these chambers since the roof collapsed and sealed them from the surface world millions of years before humans walked the earth. Water still flows through the ancient passageways, carving ever deeper into the stone, creating cathedral-like spaces where silence is broken only by the constant dripping of time itself. But this is not empty darkness. If you enter these caves and allow your eyes to adjust, you will witness something that seems to violate the fundamental laws of nature. The ceiling above you will disappear, replaced by what appears to be a perfect recreation of the night sky. Thousands of points of blue-green light shimmer in the blackness, creating the illusion of stars and galaxies hanging impossibly close overhead. These are not stars, they are Arachnocampa luminosa, a species of glowworm found nowhere else on Earth. Each tiny larva hangs from the cave ceiling on a silk thread, secreting droplets of mucus that dangle below it like a deadly chandelier. And each one generates its own bioluminescent light through a chemical reaction occurring within its body. The purpose of this light is not beauty, it is predation. Small flying insects, navigating through the darkness of the cave, are drawn toward what they perceive as openings to the surface world. They fly toward the light, become entangled in the sticky mucus threads, and are slowly drawn upward into the waiting jaws of the glowworm above. But for human observers drifting silently beneath this luminous canopy in small boats, the predatory nature of the display becomes irrelevant. What matters is the experience of floating through absolute darkness while an alien constellation gleams overhead. The reflection of the lights in the still water below creates the sensation of floating through space itself, surrounded on all sides by bioluminescent stars. There is something profoundly moving about this encounter with darkness and light. In an age when true darkness has become increasingly rare, when light pollution washes out the stars above our cities, these caves offer a glimpse of what our ancestors experienced when they looked up at the night sky. Except here, the stars are close enough to touch. Here, the heavens have descended into the underworld. The glowworms themselves live for only 9 months before transforming into adult fungus gnats that survive just a few days. Their entire existence is dedicated to this moment of illumination. They hang in darkness, burning with cold fire, waiting for prey that may never come. And in doing so, they create one of the most hauntingly beautiful sights the natural world has to offer. Number 3, the Blood Falls. In the frozen wasteland of Antarctica, where temperatures plummet to depths that would kill an unprotected human in minutes, Where the ice sheet extends for millions of square miles in every direction, there flows a waterfall of blood. Blood falls cascades down the face of Taylor Glacier in the McMurdo Dry Valleys, staining the pristine white ice with a crimson streak that looks like an open wound in the landscape. The visual impact is immediate and disturbing. Against the sterile purity of the Antarctic ice, this bright red discharge appears fundamentally wrong, as if the glacier itself is bleeding. For decades after its discovery in 1911, scientists believed they understood this phenomenon. They theorized that red algae within the ice were responsible for the coloration. A simple explanation for a strange sight, but as is often the case with the natural world, the simple explanation was entirely incorrect. The truth is far stranger and far older than anyone initially suspected. Beneath Taylor Glacier, trapped under hundreds of feet of ice, there exists an ancient lake. This lake has been sealed away from the outside world for over 1.5 million years. It has never been touched by sunlight. It contains no oxygen. The water is 3 times saltier than the ocean. The temperature hovers just below freezing. By every conventional measure, this should be a dead environment, a pocket of sterile water preserved in darkness since before modern humans existed. But it is not dead. The lake teems with microbial life. These organisms, cut off from the energy of the sun that powers virtually all life on Earth's surface, have found another way. They harvest energy by breaking down iron-rich rocks beneath the ice. They breathe sulfur instead of oxygen. They have evolved in complete isolation for over 1 million years, creating an ecosystem unlike anything else on the planet. When water from this ancient lake occasionally breaches the ice and flows to the surface, it carries dissolved iron in high concentrations. The moment this iron-rich water contacts oxygen in the atmosphere, it oxidizes instantly. Rust forms. And rust is red. Blood falls is not bleeding, it is rusting. It is the waste product of a hidden ecosystem that survives in conditions that would be considered uninhabitable. It is evidence that life finds a way even in the most extreme environments imaginable. Standing before Blood Falls, watching this bright red stain spread across the white glacier, you are witnessing a portal between worlds. Below, in absolute darkness and crushing cold, life continues according to rules that evolution wrote specifically for that environment. Above, in the harsh light of the Antarctic summer, that hidden world briefly makes itself known. The falls freeze and thaw with the seasons, sometimes flowing strongly, sometimes reduced to a trickle, sometimes ceasing entirely. But the lake beneath remains, timeless and patient, holding its secrets in the dark. Number 4, the Giant's Causeway. On the wind-swept coast of Northern Ireland, where the cold Atlantic crashes against ancient cliffs, the Earth has created what appears to be the ruins of a massive, geometric temple built by beings far larger than human. The Giant's Causeway consists of approximately 40,000 basalt columns, each one hexagonal in shape, each one fitted so perfectly against its neighbors that no mortar seems necessary. They rise from the sea like steps leading down into the depths, or up towards some unknown destination. The precision is unsettling. The angles are too perfect. The repetition is too exact. Local legend offers a simple explanation. The Irish giant Fionn mac Cumhaill built this causeway as a bridge to Scotland so he could fight his rival Benandinner. The Scottish giant, upon seeing the enormous size of Fionn's baby, through a clever trick, fled back across the causeway in fear, destroying it behind him. All that remains are these fragments on either shore. Geology tells a different story, though, one no less dramatic than the myth. 60 million years ago, this region experienced a period of intense volcanic activity. Molten lava from deep within the Earth's mantle burst through cracks in the crust and flooded across the landscape. As this lava cooled, it contracted, and as it contracted, it cracked. But these were not random cracks. The laws of physics dictated that the cooling basalt would fracture in the most efficient pattern possible to relieve the stress of contraction. That pattern is hexagonal. The same pattern appears in honeycomb, in the compound eyes of insects, in the molecular structure of snowflakes. It is geometry written into the fundamental nature of how matter behaves. As the lava continued to cool, these cracks propagated downward through the entire flow, creating columns that extend from the surface deep into the earth. Some are short, rising only a few feet. Others tower overhead at 40 feet or more, but all share the same hexagonal cross-section, all fit together with architectural precision. Walking across the Giant's Causeway feels like trespassing in a place built for beings of a different scale. Your feet land on the flat tops of columns that could serve as stepping stones for creatures 20 feet tall. You navigate between pillars that form maze-like passages. You climb staircases that lead nowhere, or perhaps to destinations you cannot perceive. The Atlantic wind howls across the formations. Waves crash against the lower columns with enough force to send spray high into the air. Seabirds wheel overhead, their cries mixing with the constant percussion of water against stone. And always, the columns remain unmoved by the violence around them, still standing after 60 million years of weathering. What makes the Giant's Causeway so profoundly unsettling is not just its beauty or its geometric perfection. It is the sense that you are looking at something that was designed. These are not the soft curves and organic shapes we associate with natural formation. This is architecture. This is engineering. This is structure imposed on chaos. And yet no intelligence created it. It arose from nothing more than molten rock cooling under the indifferent laws of physics. The perfection was not intentional. It was inevitable. Number 5. The Marvel Caves. In the remote wilderness of Patagonia, where Chile and Argentina share a border carved by ice and wind, there lies a lake of impossible blue. And within this lake, carved into the calcium carbonate shores, are caverns that seem to have been sculpted by an artist obsessed with flowing water and ethereal light. The marble caves of General Carrera Lake exist at the intersection of geology, chemistry, and optics. They are the result of 6,000 years of water slowly dissolving the marble shoreline, creating smooth, wave-like formations that twist and spiral through the rock like frozen whirlpools. But the caves themselves are only half of the miracle. The other half is the light. General Carrera Lake contains water of such extraordinary clarity and purity that it acts as a prism. The lake's glacial origins mean it carries suspended particles of glacial flour, sediment ground so fine by the movement of ice that it remains suspended in the water column. These particles scatter light in a very specific way, filtering out all wavelengths except the bluest of blues. When this intensely blue water enters the marble caves, it reflects off the white and pale gray calcium carbonate walls. The light bounces from surface to surface, becoming concentrated and amplified with each reflection. The result is an interior illumination that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. The color of the caves changes with the seasons. In spring and summer, when glacial meltwater floods the lake, the blue deepens to an almost ultraviolet intensity. In autumn and winter, when water levels drop and sediment settles, the color softens to pale turquoise. But in all seasons, the light within the caves remains otherworldly. Traveling through the marble caves in a small boat creates the sensation of floating through liquid sapphire. The walls ripple and swirl overhead, sculpted by water into organic forms that seem to suggest movement even in stillness. The cave ceilings rise and fall in rhythm with the waves outside. Your reflection in the water below merges with the reflected ceiling above, creating a disorienting mirror effect where up and down lose their meaning. There is something deeply meditative about this experience. The gentle lapping of water against marble, the play of blue light across white stone, the sense of being enclosed by beauty while simultaneously being opened to something vast and timeless. These caves will not last forever. The same water that created them continues to dissolve them. Every wave that enters carries away microscopic particles of marble. Every season changes the shape of the passages. In geological time, which operates on scales incomprehensible to human consciousness, these caves are as temporary as morning mist. But for now, they exist. For now, they wait in their remote corner of Patagonia, accessible only to those willing to make the journey to one of the most isolated lakes on Earth. And for those who do make that journey, the caves offer a glimpse of beauty so pure, so concentrated, that it borders on the spiritual. Number 6. The Door to Hell. In the heart of the Karakum Desert in Turkmenistan, in a landscape of sand and heat and endless emptiness, there burns a crater that has been on fire for over 50 years. The Darvaza gas crater, known colloquially as the Door to Hell, is a circular pit approximately 200 feet in diameter and 60 feet deep. Every inch of its surface burns with continuous flame. At night, it glows like a small sun fallen to earth, visible from miles away across the desert. During the day, heat shimmers rise from it in waves that distort the air. The temperature at the crater's edge can reach over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This is not a natural phenomenon. It is an accident, a mistake that became permanent. In 1971, Soviet geologists drilling for oil deposits in the desert struck a massive underground cavern filled with natural gas, The ground beneath their drilling rig collapsed, creating a crater and releasing methane and other toxic gases into the atmosphere. Fearing the environmental and health impacts of an uncontrolled gas leak, the geologists made a decision. They would light the gas on fire, burning it off in what they estimated would take a few weeks at most. They were wrong. The fire has been burning ever since. What makes the door to hell so mesmerizing is not just the flames themselves, though they are spectacular. It is the context. This inferno exists in one of the most desolate environments on Earth. The Karakum Desert receives almost no rainfall. During summer, daytime temperatures regularly exceed 120 degrees Fahrenheit. During winter, they can plunge below freezing. Nothing grows here except the hardiest of desert plants. Nothing lives here except creatures specifically adapted to extremes. And in the middle of this wasteland burns a pit of eternal flame. Approaching the crater after dark reveals the full magnitude of its presence. The glow intensifies as you draw near, turning from orange to yellow to white at the hottest points. The roar of burning gas becomes audible, a constant low thunder that you feel in your chest as much as hear with your ears. The heat becomes oppressive, making it impossible to approach the edge without protection. Looking down into the crater is like looking through a window into the underworld described by ancient religions. The entire floor writhes with flame. Individual gas vents create pillars of fire that shoot upward. The walls glow red with reflected heat. And at the very bottom, where the flames burn hottest, the light becomes almost too intense to watch directly. There have been discussions about extinguishing the fire. The wasted gas represents a lost resource. The environmental impact of burning methane for decades is significant, but every plan to put out the flames has been abandoned. The crater has become a symbol of Turkmenistan. It draws visitors from around the world who wish to witness this accident that became a wonder. And so it continues to burn, day after day, year after year, decade after decade. A monument to human error, transformed into something approaching the sublime through sheer persistence. A reminder that sometimes our mistakes create their own kind of terrible beauty. Standing at the edge of the door to hell as night falls across the Karakum Desert, you are confronted with a vision that feels apocalyptic. The flames dance and flicker, casting shadows that seem to move with malevolent purpose. The heat radiates outward in waves. The sound fills the air, and you realize that you are witnessing something that should not exist, something that persists only because we lack the will or the knowledge to stop it. It is not beautiful in any conventional sense, but it is perfect in its wrongness. A scar on the earth that burns with light, a hole filled with fire that will not die. These places exist. They are real. You can visit them, touch them, stand within them, and feel the weight of their impossible beauty pressing against your consciousness. They were not created for us. They arose from forces that care nothing for human aesthetics or human understanding. Tectonic violence, chemical reactions, erosion and time, accident and fire. The indifferent mathematics of how matter behaves under pressure and heat and cold. And yet, we cannot help but find meaning in them. We create myths to explain them. We travel thousands of miles to witness them. We stand before them in silence, searching for words that never quite capture what we're experiencing. Perhaps that is the greatest miracle these places offer. Not their existence, which can be explained through science, but their effect on us, the way they remind us that despite everything we think we know, the world can still inspire genuine wonder, the way they prove that perfection is not something we must create. It is something we must learn to recognize in the natural patterns that surround us. These places that look too perfect to be real are, in fact, the most real things in our world. They are evidence that Earth, our home, remains fundamentally mysterious, fundamentally beautiful, fundamentally beyond our complete understanding. And they are waiting for you to seek them out, waiting to show you that reality, when you look closely enough, is far stranger and more magnificent than any fantasy we could imagine.